Let's look at GP. You guys want to learn how to play GP? You guys gotta learn. I'll teach you the ways of Gangplank via my own VOD review. Okay? I'll teach you the ways. Well, hold on. Before I start, you have two options. Actually, I should go back over the Irelia game. I should go back over the Irelia game.
A happy little
I'm gonna teach not only the newbies, but I'm gonna teach the experienced GPs as well. I'm gonna teach all y'all. All y'all motherfuckers. Okay? We're gonna go over this gameplay real quick. I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know. Okay? First things first. First things first. I read, this is what started me on this. It's the Irelia matchup in like mid to high diamond range. I had a build that I was running where I would go early Steraks, and I got flamed by randos on Reddit telling me that the fucking one of the GP kings doesn't know how to build. That's what I heard. I heard it. I didn't like what I heard, okay? I'm not a fan of that. I felt disrespected, to be quite honest. Because I read it, and I read it on Reddit, and then I was like, why do these people act like they know more about this fucking champion than I do when I played this champion in Korea? The fuck are you talking about? I have sucked with this champion in many a region before getting good at this champion. Alright, runes. Look. This is the rune setup versus Irelia, okay? This will allow you to survive all ends and allow you to stop dives. And basically it is like Irelia is one of the hardest picks in the game for GP, so this is like a counter to that. This is my strategy for that. I actually learned this playing versus good players. Alright? And also getting shit on by Irelia, new Irelia, since I've been back. So I changed my build. This game is a really hard game, and we win it. And a lot of it's because we play the way that we do. If you don't play this way, you're gonna lose this type of game. If you try to play standard GP, this is why some of those like GPs that build damage all the time, this is why they lose games like these. Because they don't know how to fucking itemize. They think they do, and they have opinions based on some, I don't even know, some alternate reality. But anyways, 4 autos on the red buff. 4 autos exactly on the red buff allows you to path through the top side. This is the GP cure-all fucking guide, alright? Allows you to path to the top side where you won't get slapped on in the tri-brush. Because there's always some motherfucker sitting in there. This game there wasn't, but if he was better, he would be sitting in there. And he would go when you go through the tri-brush. And you'd be chunked. And that sucks. Corrupting pot, because you're not going to be greedy. You're just going to chill. You're going to farm well, and you're going to chill. That's your goal in life. Let me tell you a little about Riot's design philosophy on champions like Irelia. For some reason, they want this champion to be able to click on you, stun you, heal off of you, and have a longer range than you do, and 100-0 you from a screen away. So, knowing that, you have to be 10 times better than this asshole in order to win this lane. Because for some reason, Riot thinks all these little advantages are completely fair with the melee champ. So he can stun, gap close from a screen away, outrange you. His auto right here tilts me. That tilts me. I don't know why he gets the auto from that far away. Is he fucking Gumby? The fuck is that? Anyways. We chill, we farm. We can't freeze, that'd be silly. Now, we always try to keep the lane right here if we can. If we can keep the lane here, it makes it harder for Irelia to do anything. Always keep trades nice and short. And keep the barrel on yourself and chill. Relax. There's no rush. Wave's starting to slow push out. I make a note of that. But I'm still not pushing quickly yet. Level 4 will be the time where I try to push. I want to go away. I'm thinking, I want to get the fuck out of this shitty lane. She won't freeze it. Because the wave's too big. Right? Poke at Hecarim. This is kind of bad, overplaying this a little bit. I really should already be resetting. But we do pressure the Hecarim, which is nice. But I overplay. This is like 5 to 10 seconds too long. I should have already reset by now. Good news is, because Irelia didn't really poke at me very much, I have Corrupting Pot still, right? So we can just chill. Notice, lane on the back side of the wave. Or wave on the back side of the lane. That's where we want to be. Why are we always positioned here? Because this champion, I don't know if I've made it very clear, is annoying and overtuned. Annoying champion, overtuned champion, right? Very lame for GP. The reason why people think that you can just build whatever the fuck you want into this matchup is because you haven't faced a good one. You haven't faced a good one yet. It's the same reason why people think Riven just destroys GP. Not really. Because the most Rivens, they haven't faced a good GP. You send the Rivens my way. Alright? It goes the other way. And then Riven catches back up later because she is actually broken. But in lane, that's not the case. Okay? Doesn't actually beat GP in lane. Now. Slow push again. I try to get away with pushing another wave in, but I realize I'm probably going to have to reset with teleport because I overstayed too long. I should have already had backed. Remember, I chased into the Hecarim, so now I'm in kind of a weird spot where the wave is not controlled the way that I want it to be. But that's okay, though. Notice, we're poking this guy down, but we're always just kind of staying calm. We're not extending the trade at all. Lee Sin comes, we get the kill, shove the wave. Irelia's gonna have to TP now. Miss the siege because I'm bad. Ult bottom because I'm not that bad. And back a little late, gonna have to reset and teleport. Again, I made another mistake there. See, I'm not even playing perfectly. I ulted, I wanted to reset my back and back right away, but I don't know if I didn't press B, like after I ult, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I reset with teleport. Now, Irelia shoves lane. I think she roams to mid because mid's free. This is the perfect comp for Irelia, really. Lee Sin squishy, Orianna squishy, MF squishy, GP's easy lane. So this is like worst case scenario matchup for our team and for our lane, right? Ward this. I like to have information if I'm getting dove, and a lot of the time this ward will tell me. You see me use a pink ward a lot. Just like you would use a pink ward here at your try, behind your tower. I got tired of playing under tower and losing my pink ward, so I start putting pink ward here. That way, if I can see a dive coming, that can save me. That can make me prep my barrels differently, right? Because you got to be ready. Higher up you go, and this is why this is for good GPs that play higher elo. Got to be ready for the dive. Pushing because Irelia's mid. Pretty standard stuff. We use the grasp when she's gone to get the demolish, to get ourselves a plate. Notice we get the plate as we're falling back from the tower. We're not overstaying. Why? Because this guy, if we overstay, he'll hit this plant and come around and kill us. Everything from the way that we position in lane to how we push nice and succinct, it's all designed around the fact that I am literally having to play at a massive disadvantage because of how this champion is designed. I fucking hate her. Can't stand her. Right? Everything I have to overthink everything. But that's what you gotta do if you want to beat this matchup. Now, I don't back right away. I have Corrupting Pot. I have plenty of health. And I just shoved the plates, so my minions are meeting back in mid. I'd rather back off this wave. I I realized that Irelia probably backed because I think I saw her low mana. So I go ahead and shove this wave as well. Then I base. Run right back to top. She pushes. She has Tiamat, so she can shove pretty quick. Pretty annoying, but what can you do? And now we're going to talk about items. Tabbies and fists first. All I could hear, and fucking people were always saying, you know, you always got to go Sheen every time. Sheen, blah, 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 blah. Charlie Sheen. Dude, you don't go Sheen first in this matchup. You need to build defensive in this matchup. She's going to push into you. She's going to dive you with ult. And if you don't have fucking defensive items, and you could even throw a Doran's Blade in there too on top of it. If you don't have those types of defensive items early, you're going to die. And what you see, I take a trade with this guy. There's my pink ward. I take a trade with this guy and almost die. And it kind of proves my point. See? That's what happens. That's with the build that I have. That's with the build that I have. Tabbies and fists.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
So there you go, right? Garbage trade. And I was just kind of pushing the limits there because I wanted Twitch to see that game. I remember.
Oh, look, a happy little
Pushing the boundaries. With stopwatch and with fist and with tabbies early. That all in is broken. You can't get away from it. Versus GP. You can't. There's nothing you can do. So that's why you itemize the way you do with the stopwatch from the inspiration tree. If I played this even better, I wouldn't even have tried to do that much. I would have just let her push in and try to encourage the Hecarim to dive me with Irelia, which we can outplay with this build. We can outplay that. So, that's why we itemize that way. So now I buy a Sheen, right? Just a Sheen. That's all I'm getting. That allows me to push a little bit faster, take a plate when Irelia roams. Allows me to push a little bit faster, but I'm not finishing Triforce anytime soon. Hecarim comes in and ints me a kill right quick. We're just turtling under tower. We figure that Irelia backs. So we're gonna push. Ult. Again, using our ult around the map, that's a positive for us because if we're using our ult in lane, then we're kind of losing value for GP. We really want to be using it elsewhere. I think Irelia roams or dies or something. So that means we get to shove. We get rift. And notice, Sterak's first. And this is the main part of the replay that I wanted to go over. Because people think that this is trash to go early Steraks. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not trash. It counters the fucking Irelia cheese. I'm calling it a cheese because it's so obnoxious to deal with early for GP. Our pink ward detects this guy's getting out of line. This is just a patience test. That's all it is. Alright? It's just a patience test. Like, we're going to keep our tower up as long as we can. We're going to hope and pray to God, even though it's super unlikely. We're going to pray that our team doesn't int too hard. Right? And we're going to use our global to impact that. And then we're taking what I would call a weighted coin flip. I'd still say Irelia has a huge edge in this matchup. She's a broken champion. There's a reason why a lot of top laners spam her right now. But it's just because most GPs are bad, like I was saying. Most GPs are bad. They're not able to make this work. So again, she goes to try to all-in me, right? But guess what? Early Steraks, suck my nuts. I'm gonna beat you. Early Sterak's grasp, it's not even close. It's not even close. If she wants to do a full-on, like full send all in when you're coming off of the Sterak spike, you actually can hold. And if she has Triforce here, which she doesn't because she's gonna rush Tiamat a lot, bam, you can win. And that sets the game up. That sets the fucking tone for the match. Because now we're not in the position where we're getting dove under our tower. We hold the lane phase the whole time. If a dive had come, we would have been fine. Even, I mean, that bad trade, yes. If we don't have stopwatch and the Hecarim decides to come in, yes, we could die. Alright? So, like, this way, we deny the dive, we deny the bullshit, and we get to farm up and play our GP the way that we want to play it. And then eventually, the way that it goes after is Sterak's or Essence Reaver IE, and then I was gonna go like Static Shiv or something on the end, but by that point we'd already won the game. And this game was a slugfest, but it's what we want versus Irelia. We want a long game versus Irelia. We want the long game. We want that. So that's why we play this way. Okay? And that's why I itemize this way. Any questions? I just figured I'd put out this little matchup analysis for you guys because people flame my builds. I'm a very offended streamer. Is this for YouTube? I don't know. But I do know one thing. How do you the question? How you finish the build? I just said. So you go Sterak's. Then you would go, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Technically, if you're being safer, you always want to go Ghostblade and then, well, whenever you feel like going Executioners, Mortal Reminder, you want to go Executioners, you want to go Ghostblade. The reason you go Ghostblade is for the move speed. Okay? So, like, when you're dealing with champions like Irelia and Hecarim and all that shit, kiting becomes more important. The better your opponents are. See, this is why I get so annoyed when people try to give feedback on builds. Just go full crit and damage like a man. Yeah, like a man who doesn't go up the ladder, right? You can go full damage and crazy damage builds when, you know, in certain compositions versus good players. But 9 times out of 10, it's probably better to just do the Triforce Sterak's Ghostblade Executioners line. It's probably better in most cases for most players to just do that build and then decide whether or not you want to go Klepto or Grasp, right? The reason is because that extra bit of kiting is huge on Gangplank, and it's also nice to just catch people in general. When you're snowballing, it's a great build anyways. Like it's not like it lacks damage. It's just not some like one shot a team. But dude, I've been preaching this shit for years. You don't want to play GP just hiding under tower and never being able to fight. Now, let's pretend that we go Triforce and we march right into this. This is my ultimate argument for this. We rush Triforce instead of Sterak's and we march right into this Golem fight. 100% we lose. 100%. We would literally walk right into that, try to defend our golems, and the Irelia would kill us. Without Triforce, mind you. She would kill us. That's why we itemize the way that we do. Is because we don't want to get killed for stepping off of our tower. We want to be able, at some point in the game, to say, no, bitch, get the fuck out of my jungle, get the fuck away from my tower, get the fuck away from me while I'm farming. You can't zone me for an hour anymore. This is fucking stupid. Yeah, seriously. Any other questions? GP questions. All this game really becomes is, like I said, it's a slugfest. I think we die eventually. Any reason to go fleet? Sure. You go fleet in like range matchups mid, where you can't queue them very often. So you get a little bit more sustain. Like long range, like Xerath shit. Xerath and Ziggs and shit like that. How to choose for runes, Grasp, and Klepto? Okay, so I go Grasp when I know that no matter what I do, I'm gonna get hit. in lane. I'm gonna get slapped on, no matter what. So, technically, you can go grasp. Like, obviously, Irelia is one that I'll always go grasp. I very rarely will risk it. After I've gotten beat by that matchup too many times, I'm like, okay, this is a liability. If I don't go grasp and stopwatch, I'm just fucked once she hits 6 and the jungler starts diving. I'm just auto screwed. Jax, you can technically play Klepto or Grasp, depending on your skill. Riven, you can play Klepto or Grasp, depending on junglers. Like, if it's a heavy dive jungler, you might want to go Grasp, or someone who's going to aggro the fuck out of you early, just in case. Like, I tend to lean more towards Klepto now, because I just feel like I can get away with it most of the time. I haven't seen many people punish me in those matchups often enough. They kind of expose themselves in a gank meta if they do that, and your damage is still fine. Grasp, though, is definite pick versus Teemo's, Jace's, in my opinion. Is versus Teemo's, Jace's, Kennan's, shit. Like, you gotta do it. Because they're gonna hit you, and you have to hit back hard. Because of it, you have to threaten, like, hey, if you keep trying to auto me, I'm gonna barrel you and all in. You have to threaten that. And I think if you go too light with runes, like do a Klepto, then you're gonna get killed. Which ulti upgrades you pick and why? Best ulti upgrades for GP are Fire at Will and Death's Daughter sometimes, but most of the time I do Death's Daughter last lately. It's not very good anymore. I'd rather have the move speed in the team fight now as a secondary a lot of the time. But sometimes I do Death's Daughter from snowballing. Sometimes I do Death's Daughter second. It's all just dependent on what I think is going to happen in a fight. So that's very situational. But Fire at Will is probably best first, because you can just win a team fight with your ult once you get Fire at Will, because opponents stand in that ult when you upgrade it. It does so much damage now. It does more than Death's Daughter does. And at a certain point, you just want to get damage out there. If a team fight extends, it's huge. But yeah. They got 2 Barons, by the way, this game, and we still fucking won. Thought so. What else before I log off for the day? What do you guys want to know? What y'all need? Easier to climb with GP mid or top? Top, I think. Top because you can exploit bad players easily. Mid's okay, but like mid's okay to like cheese kills, but I always had it. I always feel like it plays weird in the mid game. At what point do you ever join a team for a team fight when it makes sense? This was bad by me. I think I just wasn't paying attention or something. But everyone was missing, and we had no priority. Look, mid has no priority, bot is shoved, and then they show, look. This is truly what Gangplank's about at higher level. It's just getting to where you need to get to, item-wise, without getting dove or fucked with too much. And then you can start blowing people up. Like here, I just wasn't paying enough attention. I was just trying to shove, but it's just a bad play. Because I stood there, I got boned. That's what you're trying to avoid. So if I was paying more attention, I would have been like, wait, where's everybody? And I would have just stood at tower. It would have been fine. Infinity Wars vinyl figures. My wife's boyfriend. Nice, dude. I think that's a good time to end. My wife's boyfriend just bought me the new Infinity Wars vinyl figures. I think that's time to go, boys. But yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna call this video. Maybe just like a matchup breakdown. I don't fucking know. But that one is for the Gangplank main subreddit specifically, because people were hating on my playstyle. Like I'm not good at GP. Makes me very sad. Anyways, I'm out on this video. Hope this helps. Peace. Crackers.